here for SYN London, here with Fox Stevenson, who's just completed the final night of his current tour.
That's right,
How's it been?
It's been great. When we set up the tour, I wasn't really sure what the reception would be, because every time we've done a tour in the past, they actually ended and then lockdowns happened, because we've been trying to do the live band thing for quite a while, and yeah, that kind of fucked it up a little bit.
Yeah.
This was the first one back since a long fucking set of setbacks and streaming and a long set of releases as well. So we played quite a lot of new tracks tonight, as well as on the rest of the tour, and it's been a massive like homecoming or like confidence boost for me to play things like All Eyes on Me, which is a tune that came out quite early in lockdown, and have those be seemingly highlights for the audience, because those aren't typically like banger style tunes that I don't know, it's been really sick to have the music that I wasn't sure how it was received visibly reflected back to me that it worked. And yeah, it's been awesome, like selling out everything by accident almost. And
it definitely wasn't by accident. You have an extremely dedicated and loyal following, and you really cultivated that Discord group well, where you know when you put something on it, there are people that they'll buy it, they'll travel, it's a testament to what you've achieved.
Yeah, I think that directness is really cool, because there's a lot of trouble for a lot of artists in, they get lost in the algorithm of a platform. But things like Discord or anything that's like direct to your I mean, I don't like the word, but direct to your consumers, quote unquote, is amazing, because you never know, like, you could be a DJ with 50,000 followers and you post something and you don't know if the small amount of people who saw it are the amount of people who would be the people who would be interested in it, and those people who are interested in it may never even see that shit.
Yeah.
And that's kind of sad. It kind of sucks, and that I could talk for hours about how scary that can be, because it would lead possibly to only ever really having musicians be successful for being comedians first, or whatever. That's a more cynical way of looking at it than I actually feel, but you could make that argument.
I was talking before that there aren't many acts that will sing live, mix pop, rock, drum and bass, and people will lap it up.
Yeah.
That aren't necessarily big fans of any of those genres. You package it so well that people really seem to resonate with that.
I genuinely think that a lot of people don't think I care about drum and bass. And the reason I say that is because the place I come from is a love of all of those things, and almost like a wishing that those things could be the same thing, because, tempo-wise, pop punk's fast. Drum and bass is fast, and we're in a time where dance music is having an amazing time on streaming and on around the world. I've always thought they were completely compatible, and my entire career has actually been me flirting more and more with that. My initial ever mission statement was to do that, and it took a very long time for me to get to a place where I felt technically comfortable enough, writing comfortable enough, and personally comfortable enough to be able to really just be like, fuck it, like, you don't need a drop, you can have a chorus. I don't know where it goes, I don't know where that leads, but I really thank you for saying so, because that hits the nail on the head for what it is that I think I'm really trying to perfect, and I don't think I've done it yet.
But you can tell the music's yours.
Yeah, totally.
It's unmistakably Fox.
Yeah, I think that comes more down to the fact that I'm really not trying to follow trends.
Yeah, you're just making music that you enjoy.
Yeah, and I'm honest. I'm honest with that, and like I might release something that doesn't quite hit, but I did love it when I finished it. That's how any artist can actually find their actual sound and their actual consistency. Like there are people who are fucking incredible at going like, this is going on. This is how we do this. This is how we make it cool right now, and they get that, and they smash that almost market research product of a track. But I'm just me, and that I wouldn't want to spend my time making music that I don't care about.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about the challenges of organising a live tour where you're playing with a band as opposed to just turning up and DJing. Not belittling turning up and DJing, but there's a certain
it's a different beast.
It's a different beast. There's a lot more moving cogs you've really got to line up.
This is the first tour I felt went really smoothly, honestly. We've got a great team. You need everybody to be on board and be aiming for the same goal of just getting that shit done and understanding the show. Our setup in terms of how the show works right now is a very safe version of what we would of what we want to do. Like we'll keep building on the idea as tours progress. But like, you know, it's rehearsals. There's a really hard thing for me as a producer, because I do love the process technically of like producing and stuff. But when you do that, you're not singing. And when you're not singing, your voice withers. And because it's a muscle, you become a weaker singer. The routing is done by my agent and management. Like that's luckily something I don't have to really think about too much, because, you know, especially when you're trying to be in the zone and make music, you do need to delegate to people you trust. Our driver was amazing, and the logistics of it is if for example we had a show tomorrow, we would finish this, go back to the hotel, we'd be up at 6 a.m, get in the van, drive to the next show, set up, play the show, and then we'd be here, and then you just do that over and over, and that's been the last 11, 12 days for us.
Speaking to Pat, he said that you've got it down to a fine art. He said this is the most honed he's felt that you guys are.
Yeah, totally agreed. But Pat is the one who would know, because he's the most seasoned of all of us. He's been in, you know, massive bands and toured with incredibly like big budget professional acts. Like he's an asset to us actually. Like he just knows like this is my lane. These are the things I really need to get done. Like he'll go and pack down the drums without anyone asking him to, and then the drums will be packed and we put them in the van and we go, and it's like Pat got that done. He's just knowledgeable and yeah, he's great to have on the tour.
There's a sweatbox in there tonight.
It was.
It's an intimate venue where you're close to the crowd. It must really hype you up and really feed into the energy of the performance.
It totally does, and actually that was almost a problem today to a degree, because
I heard you mentioning the in-ears.
So yeah, the in-ears was one thing. That's more cool than it is a problem. So I have like a vocal gate on my in-ears so I can hear myself, but not hear when I'm not singing. But every time the crowd would scream, they would trigger the gate, hit the compressor, and it would just be like in my ears. The other problem is when you get too hyped up, especially as a singer, and I'm not like, I don't have great cardio at the moment. I've never really had great cardio. You find yourself out of breath because you've been having too much fun, and then you realize you have to hold a note. You have to hold a note for 4 bars, and you just don't have the breath. And there were some moments today where I actually feel like I underperformed vocally because I was having too much fun. Right. And that's an interesting give and take. That's never really a problem when you're a DJ.
I suppose you've got to learn when to. How much to give and at what points, which is a dance in itself, isn't it? Yeah,
and honestly, part of that would be my fitness, and I would hope to be fitter for the next tour so that I can go further. And obviously, the ideal is I would be in incredible shape, and none of it would matter, and I could just run around and and you know, we'll see. Maybe I'll get there, but also I'll have to sit at a studio and make tracks. Yeah. So how does that work?
Yeah, definitely. How's the process been working with SYN?
Honestly, I've been a little bit at arm's length for it all, because we had, you know, all these things with the tour. Like, it's been great today. Like, everything's gone smoothly, and I've been really happy being here. And like, the crowd was great, and the organization's great, and everything was great. So like, I'm a happy artist at the end of a night run by them.
You want to turn up. You want to get the set done how you want it, and have as few pickups as possible. And
I wouldn't want. Yeah, there hasn't been like this is going wrong kind of thing, which is honestly the sign of a good show. Like, if you don't feel like anything's gone wrong, then it was a good show.
It's been like playing in London, because of you're originally from London, aren't you? And
very originally. I was born in I lived in Leeds for a really long time, but I was born in Lewisham. I was born in Guy's Hospital.
Wow. It's a bit of a homecoming for.
Almost, yeah. It's great playing in London. I know that my position in the UK scene is not quite defined yet. Because I don't fit in with the current drum and bass sound, and that's said with neither regret or jealousy, but I know that and knowing that, it's like, what does that mean? Where do I go? And luckily, I've been able to sell tickets to my own shows, and I would hope to just be able to keep upping that bet. And the London crowd today was mental. Yeah. So I mean, why wouldn't I want to do it again?
It sold out really quickly as well, and I think everyone was really thrilled to have you down. But listen, I really appreciate everything you've done for the music scene.
Thank you.
I really appreciate the interview. Thanks very much.
Thank you, mate.
Cheers, man. Appreciate it.
Take care.